Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us this morning. At 9 a.m., we will close our social media and continue on Zoom only. Join us by getting your Zoom link at elizabethvisionaryconference.org. We'll be there until 10 a.m. You can join us now, and we'll see you in the Elizabeth Zoom room. Today, your hosts are Mama Ayaba Bay and Mama Awa Asaseya. Enjoy.
Goddesses, power up,
Power it up.
power up. Get ready for the ride.
There you go.
Buckle up, huh?
What are we gonna be riding on?
You
Roller
gonna ride
coaster.
on?
Roller
You gonna ride-
coaster.
Pure
What?
light, pure light. I'm riding on light and love.
All right. The magic carpet. I like that light and love.
Woo.
Light and love. That's
You
it.
got your tea? What's in your tea this morning? That's okay. Long as you had your water. Long as you flushed the toxins out of your body from last night's journey. I look at the body like a little Pac-Man through the night, just eating away the toxins and the waste. And in the morning time, you're so full of it, you got to release it.
Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah. Hey, I'm slacking myself. I got just the basic green tea. What you got, Queen?
Basic.
Queen Bay?
Yeah.
What's in your cup? I see you.
Ginger.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get me some ginger and throw in. Queen Aduni, what's in yours?
I've got rose hips. I got green tea, chamomile, hibiscus, lemon peel.
That's a nice combination.
A mango flavor.
All right. Evelyn, Grand Rising. I see you. What you got in that cup?
My usual ginger and lemon. I forgot my red pepper.
That's right. A little cayenne pepper. If you don't do anything, little lemon, warm water, honey, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. That'll blow them acidics away.
So today, what are we going to share? We're going to share.
What you gonna share? What you got, mamas?
I'm looking down at this black cat of mine all over my stuff. I'm going to share. We're going to share.
Cats are so disrespectful.
Okay.
They're minds of their own.
I know. That's okay. And that's me in my next life. I think I was a cat before.
Oh, really?
The only girl cat, we got her fixed, and she still on stuff because she just like that. So she's not allowed in my room.
She's a hot mama. She's just a kitty cat.
Today Wednesday. Oh yeah, hump day. Here y'all go.
Hump day.
Humping up.
I know. We clamming up there. We at the top now.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of the top, we're going to be talking about a few things, but primarily high spiritual, philosophical, scientific, mathematical information. And what I like about the Elizabeths, y'all already know about everything. So y'all already got the cake. Y'all done put the frosting on it. So we're just dropping a few little decorations on top of the frosting. That's all. I mean, what can you do with the Elizabeths? So a while back we talked about, and I have something for Head Root too. A while back we talked about a Soraset's system of what they call faculties. In the Yoruba system, we may call them Orisha. In the what you call the Christian and Jewish, and I don't know about the about Islam, but they call them angels, seraphims, and various other titles like that. But basically, and then the Akan, they call them Abosun. And we use the word spirit, guides, all those little fancy words. But in reality, many words are used to describe one source of a thing. I don't know why, but that is what we have. We have many choices of words. Maybe when the Bible talks about Babylon getting destroyed and everybody was unable to talk to each other because the Creator had pulled the one language out and gave them a whole yak of many languages. So maybe that's where all these words came from. But we cannot talk about spiritual realm in the African system without talking about the family. The family has a major role in it. That saved me when my mother passed away, because part of what we do is our responsibility in setting up the family altar. And I said to you all in the past that Black people, we already have altars. Every one of us got altars in our house. We don't call them altars. We may call it the buffet. And on the buffet, you got some wax candles that you never burn.
Yeah.
You got pictures of folks.
You
More
got
than likely,
the big giant Bible.
the big giant Bible. Flower, what them flowers? Plastic flowers.
Plastic flowers. Yeah.
See, so I'm saying all that, and y'all are laughing because you already know. But we didn't consult with each other. This is how you know you have a culture, even though you may not know the precise pieces of the culture that you came from. Yesterday and every day, you all be saying things that continue to prove that this is so. You talk about things, we talk about things in a way that is highly spiritual. And we'll say phrases and stuff that connect to the knowledge of the spirituality. I'm not remembering the precise things that was said yesterday, but something was said to the fact of, we know somebody spoke to us, somebody said something. We felt that energy. I think Heru talked about a yellow butterfly in relationship to her mom's spirit. And I said, we didn't talk to each other. I said a white butterfly in relation to my mama's spirit. I'm in the backyard, I'm thinking about mom, and this butterfly just started flying all around me. I said, hey, mom, why do we think like that? What is in our spirit and in our minds that cause us to share this same thought, and yet we never taught that. Nobody taught us that.
Yeah, same thing. I had same thing. I equate my mother when I see butterflies passing by or butterflies hanging on.
Well, in some indigenous cultures, they say that when the spirit leaves, it's a butterfly. Nobody never told you that. But evidently, in some past life incarnation, somebody told you, and you brought it with you, and you weren't afraid. You didn't get all spooky and everything. I'm saying all this to say that many of the things that we already know have brought us this far by faith, have brought us this far without asking nobody. We didn't ask nobody for permission to call our past ancestors butterflies.
That's right.
Birds, that's another one we use. Any of y'all ever use? Yeah, I see you had every, yeah.
Robins and cardinals, yep.
Yeah. See? So a leaf falling a certain way. It ain't every leaf, but it's a certain way this leaf falls.
Yeah.
That in your conception, you feel like it's the spirit of your ancestor. So this idea of the continual connection between our ancestors and ourselves is not foreign to us. That's why I don't get it. How black people, people of hue, especially Christians, can go to Africa and say those people are devil worshiping, or say, or even, well, I should say the ones that are Christians in Africa, because they have abused, in Ghana, they have abused many women for their helping other people be cured of ailments, driving, doing rituals to get positive energy and reinforcement back in somebody's life. They have beat them, ostracized them, and yet here we are in the United States of America this morning agreeing about butterflies and birds representing our ancestors. Come on now. When the Euro people went over to our homeland, and that's what I'm talking about. Listen to me now. When I'm saying homeland, I'm talking about both sides of the Atlantic. Everybody was not in Africa after a period of time. Those people left that place and wasn't called Africa in those days. Some places, one map, old map I saw had Kush on it.
Yes.
It was called the land of Kush.
Kush. The land of black.
Map, say what, baby?
It said the land of black.
Land of, yes. The Greeks called the Ethiopians the most beautiful people they had ever seen in their life, and began to call the continent Africa, which means skin of God. And may I repeat that?
Skin of God.
Skin of God. Now you know why those people go and buy suntan oil and suntan lotion, because in their other consciousness, just like we know butterflies and birds represent our ancestors, they know that black skin represents God. I'm telling y'all this morning, I'm telling y'all things, sometimes I be holding back on. But I mean, if I gotta blow your mind, I'll blow your mind. I mean, that's good.
I know you can. Go on and blow our mind.
Blow the cobwebs out. Stop feeling this way.
That's what we expect when we see both of you.
See, Mama had a rule. She already got her head in her notebook.
I bear you out. I bear out, oh Holy One. I bear out. I bear out.
Hey, I be ready.
Good.
I ain't missing this.
You're gonna need it.
Yeah. Today I'm sitting back. I'm a student today.
Watch out, sister.
Watch out.
Aren't we all? We are all.
That's right. We all manifesting this.
Because we all studied life. Now, oh my Lord. Y'all should have seen me up here last night trying to pull out books. I got so many books on the floor. I said, I don't need all them books. You already know this stuff. But I'd like to pull out things that my mind may not get to fast enough. And in the meanwhile, just like she does almost every Tuesday night, my Queen Mother calls me. We was up talking till 3:30 this morning.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And so I don't know where to start. Let me start with the family role in Egungun. Egungun is another name for ancestors. Okay, y'all with that? Egungun. Sometimes we'll use the word eguns. Like there's a certain kind of belching that we do that we'll say, she passing eguns. You can walk through a room. You can walk down the street. You don't know who got killed right at the spot where you walked on. You'll start just belching and belching. Why am I belching like this? And if somebody who was a priest or a priestess, a person who works in African culture, they'll probably say, oh, you just passing eguns. Spiritual energy, just like heat energy and cold energy, move in and out of our body all the time. So the family role in Egungun. In the Yoruba religion, the annual ceremonies in honor of the dead serve as a means of making sure that their ancestors have a place among the living, a place among the living. The first place the ancestors have among the living is yourself. When a baby, they call a baby, Rastas don't call newborn children babies. They say baby is the first syllable, first two syllables for Babylon. So they don't use, they're very precise. You think I'm precise with words? Rastafarians are on it just like a point on a pin about words. There are some Rastafarians, especially among the males, but there's some Rastafarians that when they leave home, if they forgot something, they won't turn around and go back. They move forward. They say forward
ever, backwards never.
So they make a square or a rectangle, whatever it is, and they go forward, they'll turn that way, turn back this way, and then go back to the house. And we may say, oh man, what you doing that for? That's just a waste of time. But conceptions of things is what cause us to be like we are. Okay, they believe the ancestors have the responsibility to compel the living to uphold the ethical standards of the past generations of their clan, town, or family. Let me reiterate. They believe, which I'm gonna say they know, because y'all know I don't like to use that word believe, because it's telling you to be a liar right there. Be lie.
Be lie.
You can lay down and go to sleep, one or the other. They know that the ancestors have the responsibility to compel. And that's a word and an action that we are getting weaker and weaker about. We don't compel our children to behave properly. We don't compel our mates to follow their soul, their spiritual energy. We don't compel ourselves to be, well, I can't say that about some of y'all, but a lot of people don't compel themselves to do the right thing. They'll think about doing it, but then they won't do it.
Mama,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
did you say what the word for, they don't use the word baby because of Babylon, but I didn't get to hear what the word for, the Rasta's word for a
newborn, for a child. They'll call them youth, youth man, or
right. Okay.
youth girl, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. The ethical standards of the past generations, that clan, town, and family. You know, in the Jewish people's culture that they adapted from the Hebrew people. The mother don't take no mess.
Mm-hmm.
She don't take no prisoners either. She said, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a lawyer. I forgot that third thing. I know doctor, lawyer, and another one that they compel their children to be. It's not about, well, you got your own choice. You choose what your choice was that you were born and you showed certain things, qualities in yourself when you were born. And so it's the mother's place to guide you to manifest those qualities. Not only that, we divine, where is it? We do divinations. We ask God. See, the word divination got divine in it. So we go to the divine source. These are Chinese divine coins.
Oh, uh-huh.
Where do they come from? They come from the cemetery. These are the Yoruba or many African cultures use these things they call cowrie shells. Cowrie shells were used for money back in the day. I think Howard was showing us her cowrie shells.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Egungun are celebrated in festivals known as Odun Egungun, and in family rituals through the masquerade custom. I'm gonna show y'all a mask.
Mama,
Huh?
Mama, yeah, but why do in particular the Christian teaching, when they say divination, they're always talking about demonic.
Demonic.
They
Oh, demonic.
if you see divination, they're alluding to evil. Evil divination.
What's the best way to keep you away from the truth? Is to put fear in you.
Mm-hmm.
Look what they did. If they're so right, how can you burn somebody to death? I don't get that. Like, you know what I'm talking about, during the times when they were so-called burning witches.
Right.
Come on back down through the time where they was burning black people, especially black men. Fear and control.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they got this one little section in the Bible where they tell you that that's not something you should do. Yet in all the other books of the Bible, they repeat stuff.
They took out a big section of the Bible, and it was the book of Enoch. The book of Enoch, was the largest book in the Bible. I don't know much about the Bible, but I did study about the book of Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
And divination is basically practicing. It says the practice of seeing knowledge of the future. They're not going to pump up anything that they want you to. You know, they want to keep you dummy down.
I don't know who created that definition, but it's not necessarily knowledge of the future. It's
knowledge of seeking.
Knowledge of seeking what?
It just says the knowledge of seeking.
Well,
but divination is like when you do the divination, you are. I'll let you explain it, but I'm just saying how it was presented to me. It was just like.
Well, I'm just sharing. I'm giving you some more things to add to what you were told.
Okay.
And what the teacher taught us in the source set was that that's a formal way of asking God. Go to God. You can't always know everything. Some stuff is so locked up inside of you that you can't reach it. It's like going into the closet. You ever go to the closet, you know something's in there, but when you open that tight packed closet, you don't see it and can't find it. But you know it's there.
Yeah.
And you start pushing it this way, pushing it that way, pulling it out here. So when you do divination, you're going into the closet of your mind, into your spirituality, and you're asking God, I can't see the dress, I can't see the answer. Tell me something, or your emotions get so entangled in it that you can't get past your emotions. So you want an objective, clear, or you want objective clarity. So you don't just go to the tools and start using them. In most cases, you got to change your clothes. If you got on regular street clothes, you got to put on your white or some other color that's going to reflect light energy. And you wash your hands and your face, and you pour libation, the water or the liquor. Get off me, boy. You pour the libation, which is your connection to your electromagnetic responses. Mm-hmm. This way is electric, this way is magnetic. Mm-hmm. And Miss Aquarius, your symbol in the pictures that they have in the world is this. Right arm up, left arm down. I think. Yes, ma'am.
So yes. I looked up the meaning of divination, or however you say it. I don't know. It said the practice of attempting to foretell future events or discover hidden knowledge by occult or supernatural means. Number 2 says prophecy, augury. The divination of the high priest was fulfilled. And number 3, it says perception by intuition, instinctive foresight.
I like number 3. The other two are influencing you to,
right?
Yeah, to think a certain way.
Here's the other thing. Many don't. My friend always say, "Who are those people, head? Who you talking about?" I don't know, but there are energies that they'll tell you not to do it, but they go and consult with folks and go sit with folks, but they don't
Well,
tell you to do it, but they go do it.
I look at that. You brought that up. Let's look at that. I talk to people and I say, where does the devil take up residence and is most comfortable?
Inside people.
All right. That's one way of looking at it. So now you're gonna make me break that down. Do you know another name that they give women? Church.
Really?
Yeah, the woman is the church. Now you think about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you got, look at her.
Yeah,
Look at
that's
her.
what they say.
Yeah, the woman is the church. So if the woman is the church, and you say that you said Howard, I mean not Howard, head roof, inside of people. Well, the church is a people. The church is a person, like businesses are defined in the Constitution as a person. I don't know if you know that, but a business is legally a person.
Mm.
So a person, you got what do we call this right here? What our parents told us this was right here, each side of our head.
Temples.
The temple.
It's your what?
Your
Your
temple.
what? All right, say it again.
Our
Temple.
Temple.
Temple. And so is that a different temple from the building that they call a temple?
That's where they got it from. The temple,
You are
the
the building,
head.
and you are the temple of God. Star has said this many times. So we are the temple. Therefore, why would that kind of energy, which is an opposing energy, go somewhere that it already is?
Can I read the
It's
book?
going,
Oh,
it's
go
going
ahead.
it's going after the pure in heart. It's going after the ones who don't know yet who they are. Go ahead, Howard.
No, I was just flipping, and after Hadaru, I was going to give this biblical definition that I just looked up, and it was saying the practice of determining the hidden significance or cause of an event, something foretelling the future by various nature, natural, psychological, and then it says other techniques.
Now the word foretelling, you have foretelling
Foretelling.
and then foretelling.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question is, I have no qualms with that definition, but my question is, where are you getting these definitions from?
Exactly.
That's
Look
right.
at
This one
You're
here,
gonna read how they want you to receive them.
but you know what? This one came from the Britannica. So you have the think about who you. I got you. I understand. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that's where I got this one from. The
Well,
Encyclopedia of Britannica for religion.
yes, and remember that first one that said it was like sorcery or something, divining things.
I got that. That was who was that?
Yeah. So where
Meridian?
you're getting your information from?
Is that Meridian?
No, that was first. I read that one first. I looked at that one, the Webster, but I went to dictionary.com and got the one I read.
Mm-hmm.
Dictionary.com. So I don't know who that is, but I'm about okay.
Okay, so when we espousing our knowledge, remember the source.
Yep.
Just remember that phrase. Remember the source.
He's like, who said that? Who said that?
I don't know who said that.
Yeah, who said that? Mm-hmm. He's like, who said that?
All right, who that talking? If you recall, well, if you don't recall, the definition for black, the definition for Negro, the definition for colored people, the definition for African, horrible definitions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In the 60s, they made them crackers go up in them books and change those definitions. They weren't true.
Because everything white was pure and black was
Yeah.
But
This
they'll come and
thing.
study us,
Oh,
take
they
what
will.
they learn, turn it around, tell us that it's negative, but and then use it on us. They'll
So
use
what is that
just
telling you?
If they know more about yourself,
that
they
I need to study we and not they who went and gave me the lesson.
No, you need to study all. All.
that's
You
true.
study
Oh
them
yeah,
That's
yeah,
too.
true.
yes. True,
That's true.
true that.
But what you want to know is the first time I realized as a teenager that white people was using, oh God, what's the name of that stuff they used to use to have suntan? I forgot the name.
What's that? Bleach and glow?
No, that's what black
Oh,
people
no,
use.
that's what
Copper tone.
copper tone.
Copper tone. Thank you. Yeah, copper tone. They didn't say brown tone, black tone.
No,
They said copper
tone. They
tone.
try to pretty it up.
Well, that's the color is that the color they said bronze. Never mind. Got it wrong. That's okay. Never mind.
You know, you can go ahead on and finish talking about whatever you're saying.
But you know what?
When I realized that they were doing that, that's when I realized they don't hate black people.
No, they love us.
They mad with God because they didn't come out black.
So they take it out on us, huh?
Well, and then taking it out on us, they take it out on themselves. Look at the condition of the earth right now because of the hate, the hatred. Y'all can think, people can think what you like, but what goes up comes down. They taught us either it's the truth or it's not.
Right.
So
and they've been lying the whole time. Listen,
Yeah.
Star told us the other day, she said mediocrity attacks excellence. Excuse me.
what? Mediocrity attacks excellence. I heard that. That's right. So
That's what
the
Star
enemy.
said.
It's the enemy of yeah.
But you know, I was thinking how I'm gonna give an example. Me and my example. When I did that genealogy testing, that DNA testing, and I found out that my people, where they came from, and I went to the library because I was so excited. I wanted the books on everything about the Balanta people. That, well, long story short, I went to the library. I said I wanted to study their religion. And the white guy that was behind the counter, I said, oh, he ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. Because I wanted to study the music, the language, and he said, oh, what a beautiful study. He started telling me where the books was for each section. And I said, it's amazing how they know more about us than we know about ourselves.
They go to Africa, we go to Disney.
Ain't that something? Yeah. Yeah.
Take their children to Africa, we go to Disney.
Well, we have a way of pointing out a lot of things. We have to move from the pointing out because we already know everything, from the pointing out to what we need to be doing.
Yeah, how to apply it.
And one of the things that in the book that they call the Bible is to study to show yourself approved before God. A lot of people out here quoting and they'll say study to show yourself approved. They cut off the before God part. Study to show yourself approved before God. Not before everybody. Not before trying to impress somebody. I'm reading what they said. Impress somebody with your knowledge. So let's move on right quickly. Supreme being, the supreme God has three manifestations. Olarum, the supreme creator, Eladumare, the ruler of the lower heavens, Olofi, the conduit between heaven and earth. In the Hebrew language, that is called Aleph, Aleph. That a man or a person standing on the earth with his head towards heaven or head towards God. What's this chakra up here called,
Howard? Crown chakra.
The crown chakra. What color is it, Howard?
It's wow. It's like I don't want to say a purple, but it manifests to white.
All right. Oh, here's the mask I want to do. Can y'all see that?
Oh yes. Pull it over. Yeah.
What mask is that? From where?
Beautiful.
Oh, this is from Nigeria.
Nigeria. Okay.
Yeah.
Ah,
And
see, hold on.
it's mucho years old. I don't know how many years old it is. But well, all these years I thought that was something.
Yeah.
But I don't play with you don't play with it. You don't let children play
Right.
with it. There you go. There's another one.
Yes.
You know where that's from? Do you know where that's from?
Let me think, because I did know.
I have
Sometimes they carve it in the back.
I have about 3 of those in the house.
Yeah.
Too.
I know my stuff. It's just in the file somewhere.
Right.
Is that from that's not from the Ivory Coast?
Let me think on it.
All right, what I'm saying is that we don't let children don't play with them.
Right.
We don't let them wear them.
Right.
Because although they might be 200 years old, it still got the energy in it.
It's still whole spirit.
It's whole spirit. And it's a lack of respect. In African culture, there's so much respect has to be paid that by now, people in the United States of America, especially us, but we are imitating or emulating the others. So when we go somewhere, just like we knew about the butterflies and the bird, when we go in these places where there's culture, we already know that we're not supposed to do certain things. Trevor Noah has a joke that he tells in the form of a story, and how they went to, I forget the country, but the man took them on a tour. Let's say it was Thailand or somewhere like that. And the man took them on a tour. And he said when they opened the door, they just opened the door of the man's house and the people laying up in the bed, resting. And the man just went on in and said, this is a typical Balinese home. Let's say it was Bali. This is a typical Balinese home. See, they're all resting in the bed. And Trevor Noah said, now I'm an African. I didn't feel like I was supposed to go in there. I didn't feel like I was supposed to go in those people's home like that. And I definitely think I should touch anything. And he said, you know, those other people, they were picking up stuff and looking all at it. But we're taught differently. So we feel differently about things. So the idea of putting on a mask wouldn't even occur to a cultural child or an African child or a child born in Native American culture. Any culture, every indigenous culture are connected by their rituals, their ceremonies. Okay, y'all don't speak the same language, but if you go to their culture, you go to their country, you go to their island, whatever it is, and you see them doing a certain thing, and you remember that's we do that at home. Like one thing, for example, in Yoruba and Akan culture, a child can't come in the room and start talking. Oh, mama, yeah, I fell, I hurt my. Oh no, you stop at the door and you do 1, 2, 3 like this. 1, 2, 3, and you put yourself on your knee, and you wait for somebody to say, "Come here, what's wrong?" You don't just bust in on adult conversations. I remember being like that as a little girl. That's how they taught us. And I remember TV came in the house, and my grandmother called it the eye of the devil. If the eye of the devil, why are you bringing it in here? She said, well, it's what's coming, and we can see black people, we can get the news. She was naming all kind of good reasons. And that was my first lesson, and this is how the devil works. They give you all the good reasons to do something, to eat a certain way, to dress a certain way, to look a certain way. And we do it. It's like the story of the Pied Piper. So Westerners would have to be educated in science, psychology, physics, metaphysics, and be spiritual people if they were ever to understand these traditional cultures in Africa. That's the reason why there's so much confusion regarding traditional culture. Amen. You know the word amen? How many of y'all say amen after your prayer?
Amen.
Amen. All right, stop. Amen. That's right. William even said, amen. When somebody say something, we're going to close that. We're going to seal that up right here. Amen, brother. Amen, sister. You know, but what is it? Amen? Amen is the hidden and the self-concealed one. Amen is the hidden and the self-concealed one. And the other day, I think I ended one of our sessions with Amen, A-M-E-N, R-A-H. They say that that's the oldest sound in the world is Amen, A-H-M-E-N. And what else? I'm in. I'm in. I am in. I'm in. I'm concealed. You cannot see me. I haven't even seen myself. None of us have. We've only seen the box that we're in. Okay.
Mama, in the
huh?
in
Yes.
Akhenaten, wasn't that the hidden one? Okay.
Was that that was his name meant? I can't tell you, but all of those pharaohs.
That's what they called him, I think. Didn't they tell him they couldn't say it anymore because he was the hidden one? He went and did the divine right, and yeah.
Well, I cannot tell you yes or no because I do not know. I've never heard that, but that's something I will look into. However, the pharaohs, you know what the pharaohs were called? God, priest, and king.
That's right.
God, priest, and king.
That's right.
They knew, and we know. So what's the best way to keep you from knowing yourself? Is to keep the knowledge of yourself as far away from you as possible. So the Kamal, which is another name for the people of ancient Kemet, the Kamal believe in one supreme being who is known as Amen, whose name translates to mean the hidden one or self-concealed one. This actually ties into the Kemetic belief that the supreme being is self-created. But there are many other names and titles given. But right now we're talking about Amen. A common one is Neter. Neter is another word for God, from which the word nature evolved. Atef Mut Neter, Father, Mother, Supreme. Atef is Father, Mut is Mother. I hear some of us saying Mut sometimes. But Atef Mut, Father, Mother. And what the white folks started talking about back in the late 60s? Father, Mother, God. Father, Mother, God. Next thing you know, the black people saying Father, Mother, God. Father, Mother, God. You already know things that you're scared to say until the world gives you permission. But not our generation, not you all, not Elizabeth. I'm talking about the world in general. Amen is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. They use he, I changed it to it. It is the great void, the provider of true peace, happiness, and joy. All that comes into existence is a repository of Amen, including the angelic force, the divinities that assist in carrying out the will of Neter in the universe and in the spiritual world development of man and woman. Well, what did it sound like I was describing? Sound like to me I was describing a woman. That's the only one I know that brings something into existence.
I mean,
hey.
Contrary to popular, huh?
Now I was gonna say I know of one. I only know of the story, but there was one that had immaculate conception. That's what they say.
Well, there's a story that comes out of ancient Kemet. I got a book in here called 16 Crucified Saviors. A lot of, when you ask Neter, when you ask Allah, by whatever name you choose to call this powerful force. When you ask for anything, be careful. My grandma used to say, be careful what you ask for. Because you're going to get the answer.
Don't get it.
You might not understand, you might not like it, you might be scared, but you're going to get it.
Don't get it.
So the question was asked and has been asked and keeps being asked, what is God? Who is God? My question was, where y'all get that name from?
That's right.
That was my question.
Yeah, where did that name come from?
God, and I don't like to use that word no more. I say universe. I like to use universe.
Universe is good.
That's what I use. Yeah.
I also use the source. SOURCE. I also use the source.
Yeah, the most.
And what's so interesting about the word source, it has OUR in it. And when we say OUR, we're talking about more than one, but as soon as we say our, it becomes one.
Where we get that from?
Right? It becomes a collective, it becomes a group. Rastafari said I and I.
Right.
And if you put an I on the paper, a capital I, and then you put another capital I on top of that one, and you keep on putting on top of them, you're going to have one I. Or you could say the I, the I, the I, and I.
I and I. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the all-seeing, all-knowing I. And the sister says the I am. Yeah. The word Ra, let me clear that up. Ra is not a god. Ra represents our spirituality, our spiritual strength. My name is my Ra. And when I learned about Ra and I learned some Hebrew letters, I broke my name down into another meaning, the meaning that the letters indicated or represented. Okay. M is Mem in Hebrew for waters. Y is Yod, the little stick that holds the window up. R is Resh, R-E-I-S-H. Ra is what? Oh, look at her. She knows the symbols. Is there anything you don't know? Go ahead. Tell us. What?
That was the sign language for the letter.
Yeah, that's R. Yeah, because I spell my other name R-U-B-Y.
She got a Y also, see? Then you got A for Aleph, or a man standing on the earth with his head towards God. Then my mother told me she named me after Myra Sobolov, a German spy. And then when I got my Oya is hidden. My Oya cannot be exposed to people. It has to always stay covered up. I said, well, these ain't no coincidences. That's why it's very important for you to be just like 007. Go through the world learning everything you can so you can connect the dots to your life, connect the dots to your reality. Ra gives us spiritual strength. In some traditions, he gives us the power to press forward through pain, despair, sorrow, setbacks, until we are able to address these issues properly. So now our ancestors gave names to everything so that your reality is, this is redundant, but so that your reality is real. That you cannot stop things from coming to you. We got the law of karma. We live under law. And so in these different cultures, we have law, even if you don't know the names of it. Look at what happens to a child when they reach puberty. The law jumps in where you're going to have a cycle unless something wrong with you. The law jumps in, you're going to have a spillover of sperm, a liquid or fluid, even if you don't know what it is. You probably come and running at, probably scare you to death if somebody don't tell you about it. Right. You be thinking you might be peeing on yourself. Right. You see. But in other cultures, you learn about this stuff before you're 7 years old. By the time you're 7, you already know about all that stuff. I asked my grandson the other night, how you know something? He said, I said, how you know all this stuff? He said, no, they don't ask me how I know anything anymore.
He said, because I know.
He said, you already know how I know.
You already know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so no, yeah, right. That's what you were talking about to me. Yeah, I already know. So don't ask. He said, he just was a serious, Nani, whatever he was doing, he just stopped and turned around and looked at me. Nani, don't ask me how I know anymore. Okay, boss. And you take the word Set. Set was the energy or the brother of Osir. Osir represents God in the flesh.
Yeah.
Osir is God walking.
Okay.
And Set, his brother, killed him. Who other brother killed somebody? What other brother in the Bible
What's that,
killed
Cain
somebody?
and Abel?
Correct. Check out the names. Cain and Abel. Abel means you have the ability to do. But what is Cain? Cain can be a few things. Cain can be a weapon. Cain can be something you trip over. Cain can be a sugar. Would you say, sister?
Something that helps you walk.
Something that helps you walk.
An assistant, yeah. Or you could
sugar, all those things.
Oh, sugar cane.
Yeah, sugar cane. So we need to be able to look at these things holistically. Isn't that the term they use? Holistically. So I want to take you to the first law of Ma'at. It's called the 11 laws of God. You are in the likeness, you are made in the likeness of a piece that nothing can disturb.
Reclaim.
You are made in the, go ahead. You want to say it? You are made in the likeness of a piece.
That was just the first one that I studied, and it was a detrimental time in my life, and I just kept repeating it. I just kept repeating it. You were
That's
made.
How you learn. Repeat it.
Reclaim your piece that you may attain to your reason for coming into the existence.
And what's that reason?
The enjoyment of life.
So you already know that if you're not enjoying life, you already done broke that first law.
You done broke that law.
You already know that if you let something into your being that causes you pain, frustration, worry, grief, anger, any of those negative emotions, you just knock the piece out. But the piece is God.
You just broke that commandment, since they want to use that word.
You broke that law. Because the things about the laws is that they don't make you do anything. They don't command you to do anything.
That's right. You have the liberty.
The Euros call those things they took from the laws of God and call them commandments. You already know what the truth is. You already know reality. When kids are little and they come in their house and they've done something absolutely wrong, what's one of the first things mothers say? You know
better. Yeah. You know.
Better. You know better. You knew better. You know better. Why did you do that? You know better. See, because the laws are written in our hearts. And the Bible tell you that too. In the last days, I'm going to raise me up a generation who will be obedient only unto me. And I will write my laws on the table of their hearts, and they will call no man father. And when I counseled young children who lost their fathers, especially in murdering situations, tragic situations, I tell them, you're blessed. You're chosen. Why? Why you call us chosen? Because you represent what the Bible says was coming. You're that generation that don't even have a father to call father. Your father is God itself.
Switch it up.
Promises in the book. Read the freaking book. Stop letting everybody read it for you or tell you this is there and that is there. If I tell you something, go check me out.
Check it out. Go check it out.
Because I'm not going to tell you nothing you can't find somewhere. So omnipotent. Some people say omnipotent, but omnipotent. That means the strongest, the most powerful. Omniscient. Everywhere. I mean, all knowing. And then the other one, I don't see when I break them up, I can't remember. Omnipotent, omniscient.
Omnipresence? No.
Omnipresent is everywhere. Omniscient is all knowing. And omnipotent is the most powerful. Right. Strong everywhere.
There's 3 of them, right?
Yeah, 3 of them. So who knows that? Mama knows that. Excuse me.
Got a hand up.
Yes, hand.
Mama Money. What's your
Somebody
name
want to
today?
say something?
What's your name?
I ain't put no name on there today.
It say I.
Oh, look who's here.
I here.
Big I.
Here.
Let the I speak.
I thought you asked the question, who knows that? That's why I raised my hand.
I guess you do.
I know, I raised my hand. I just woke up. I'm following orders.
Okay, all right. All right, that's good thing. Good thing. That's because she's all knowing.
All right. She came in right on time, didn't she?
Yes, she did. And I was thinking when they say he clothed me, he clothed me when I was naked. He fed me when I was hungry. You know, and all them other things they said he did. But where is that he when it comes to a sheep? The he is part of the word sheep.
It's in the middle. It's after the S.
Yeah, after the
if I call you the wrong name, take the S off or put an S on. Don't be mad at me. I'm only going by my mere mortal-ism ability from 1965. I'm not a 2000 baby, so forgive me. Add your letters and take a letter off. I love you.
I will say
start wearing name tags. Wear a name tag. We don't have to worry about all that.
No,
always say, you know what I mean. You know
what I mean, but do you know what you mean?
That's it.
You the only one gotta understand that. You know, I gotta go here.
Go ahead.
You haven't I'm not. This is just how I feel. There's a difficulty in acceptance, but then you want to make sure that I accept you. The only person that the acceptance matters to is you. So don't look for nobody else to be okay with what you're doing. We're confused. I'm confused. Okay. So
well, in these 11 laws, the first law says what? You are made in the likeness of a piece that nothing can disturb. So if you're already disturbed, you're already moving out of the direction of your oneness with this thing that people call the creator or the source. You live in a world where their main function is to keep you disturbed. But the word of the ancient law says you're made in the likeness of a piece that nothing can disturb. But you're living in a world that's constantly disturbing you. Yeah. So therefore, wake up and realize where you are. Realize who is coming after you.
And do the opposite.
And realize exactly. Realize who's coming after our children.
I wrote about all of this this morning. I'm just blown away.
Because you just be one with it. Heteru. Heteru, your name means house of God. What do you want?
Look what I did. That's what I wrote today. I wrote in a spiral today.
Look at her. Yes. And that is Heru. Heru is the circle. Heru is pi in the center of the circle. Heru is that little dot where you got the opening. That opening is a dot. That's a dot. You just enjoy the dot. You drew the circle. It's still a circle. You ain't got to do that.
There you go.
It's a dot in itself.
Now that's official.
It was official anyway, because we can see what we cannot see. We can know what we thought we could not know. But I'm saying is we are mothers. We are the power of the earth. The earth is a female, so according to the definition of understanding that seeds are planted in the mother and then it grows into the next generation. So we even call it Mother Earth. Earth is spells heart. Reconfigure the letters and you have the word heart. Heart is the seat of love.
Mm-hmm.
Love is the energy of the soul. The soul resides in your temple, and the temple belongs to God or the source.
Woo. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do I need to repeat that? I can't.
The Ori, the high, the head.
Ori, the high, the head, the head, your blessing. Your head is your blessing. So why you letting people put thoughts in your head that you already know is bullshit? It ain't what they say.
And even if you think you don't know, you still have the faculties and the signals, signs and signals that will let you know that don't sound right. That don't feel right.
That's right. Some of these parents are marching their children straight to hell. And I'm not talking about no hole in the ground, no pit. Some of these parents are marching their children straight to hell because they don't compel their children. No, they don't compel.
Compel.
That's right.
I start thinking about that word. The
driving
force.
Driving force.
To bring out by using that of pressure. The force or the obligation to do. Woo.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know. I would just start like compel.
No, that's good. But I failed because I forgot to tell you on the first part. Amen represents you being made in the likeness of a peace that nothing can disturb. Reclaim your peace that you may attain to your reason for coming into existence, the enjoyment of life. But what comes before Amen? Amen contains within itself the all. They call Allah. Allah is the all of all. Within the Amen, which some people would call this O. Within that O is everything. Within your mind, that's correct. Within your mind is everything that comes out of your fingers when you're creating. All y'all creators who are here. You don't see what you're going to do. You don't see it. Some people think they see it. Some people see it, but when they finish with it, it don't look like what they thought they saw.
Right. Because I never know what I'm going to make sometimes. I just start with a shape. And I tell people, you can tell me your colors, but please don't tell me how to do it. Because it's the needle in my finger. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Well, you don't have nothing to do with it, and yet you have everything to do with it.
Right.
We have to start looking at reality. The reality is all in all. So you don't and you do. You will and you won't. All of these things. Oh man, I could go on, but I want to stick with these.
Come on with it.
So then you have the second law. The two we're gonna cover today. The law of Osair. Your nature is an unconquerable peace. Therefore, no one can be against you.
That's right.
All experiences come to you to promote your reclamation of peace, that you may in turn acquire wisdom and power. I like to say them back from the bottom. How do you attain wisdom and power? By reclaiming your peace.
Reclaiming, taking it back.
Take back your peace.
Yeah, reclaiming it.
That's right. That's how you acquire wisdom and power. You reclaim your peace. What do children do when they get upset? What are some of the things they do when they get upset?
Tantrums.
Fold their arms. They lock
fold their arms. That's a good one. What are they doing when they fold? And they fold their arms across their what?
Chest. They're cutting off. Cutting off.
Their heart. They're protecting, subconsciously protecting their heart. It's your heart. You protect it. You keep it at peace because it's your oneness to God, to the source. It's your connection to the source. So I'm just sharing with y'all how to see with your eyes what's going on right in front of you. They do like this.
I don't want to.
Yeah, we stand, we're getting a little nervous. We don't even know we're being nervous. And we cross our arms like that. And either you'll think about it and say, why am I doing that? Or somebody will tell you, uncross your arms, uncross your arms. But basically, they think you're crossing your arms because you're scared. But you're crossing your arms because you're uncomfortable. Your heart is being challenged.
And you're protecting. It's a protective mode.
Protecting. What else do children do when there's peace has been disturbed? They go somewhere. Where do they go?
They leave, walk out.
They'll walk out. They'll go in a corner. They'll go in another room. They'll lay across their bed. If there's anything like me, they went under the bed.
Remove themselves from the situation.
Thank you, my teacher. Remove themselves from the situation. And what do you do after you get grown and something disturb your peace? What you do?
I remove myself.
No, now
you fight back.
Thank you. That's the truth. That's the truth.
I'm learning to remove myself from that energy. Where once upon a time the bull would fight back.
Well,
I still fight back, but it's how you fight back.
Yeah, it's more of a speaking up. When you're uncomfortable, you have to inform people, because that quietness can give them, they either go, oh, this is okay, so I'll do it again. But at some point we need to address, because I've told people, if you don't get mad at me when I address somebody who's pretending to be non-racist and they make comments and you didn't say nothing, you didn't check it, and then when
but you done picked it up, yeah.
Miss House, don't be like, no, you didn't shut it down when you had a chance. I'm gonna say something. Don't tell me, Miss House. I don't want to hear that.
Well, back once again to the first law. It depends on how much you want to incorporate in your life for what it is you want to do. And that first law is always uppermost. I was definitely a Heru Shango type girl growing up. Justice was my shield, my sword and shield. It still is, but I handle it a different way.
Yes.
Now, back then, I would pronounce sentence upon you, and then I would carry out the punishment. So I was Ma'at and Harapahuti. Ma'at is the sentencing person, the sentencing energy. Heru is the cutting energy, the energy that carries out the sentence that Ma'at has imposed. See, we even do it to ourselves. We be in a position where we find ourselves agitated, and we don't want to really be agitated, and better not nobody come in and say the wrong thing to you, because you're gonna fly off at them, which means you've broken the first law.
Right, but Mama, let me ask you this, because this was a special, unique situation. So we had a teacher. The children were using the internet, and they found out some information. I didn't know that Wikipedia, people could write whatever the heck they wanted. So the teacher told the principal that I was letting the kids write down false information about Thomas Edison. They said his mama beat his butt, or whatever they said about him. And so she goes and talks to the principal and tells her, Miss House is letting the children go on websites and look up false information. And I don't understand why she didn't come to me and say something, because, she's walked across the bridge with Martin Luther King. So I walked myself to her room and I said, you let me know when you have a question about something. You come and say, because she's standing in front of our Black children.
She was a Black woman?
No, ma'am.
Oh, well, you already know why she did it.
That's
right. You know she wasn't going to come to you first.
That's why I let her know. I said, you can come and talk to me when you see something that I need to fix or whatever. Because I didn't know Wikipedia let you could write whatever on Wikipedia, and I didn't know that.
They always
I don't
asking
know.
some
She
people to
went
come.
to
And
someone
she,
for protection.
right,
She
yeah,
went to someone for
but
backup.
you
Mhm.
didn't go to the
She
right
didn't
person.
come directly to you.
She wasn't there with Thomas Edison, first of all, so she don't know what the hell was going on.
Really?
well, okay, let me just say this in
Oh.
keeping with the lessons of today, which is
Yep.
the 11 laws. The reason I'm bringing this
I
is
don't get
because
off on
Spirit
that
led
today.
me to bring it and say, you all in Elizabeth are already up here. So now how do you protect that where
Right.
you already are? And one
Evelyn
of
has
those,
a question. I see that little hand.
where?
Evelyn has a hand, I thought up. No?
Oh no.
I don't see a hand.
You don't see a hand?
No, I don't.
Never mind.
Anyway,
I don't know how to put the hand up there.
Hey, wait a minute. Never mind. It's my little hand here.
all right. Observing the 11 laws of God
Okay.
is to be as God, or to be as the universal consciousness, to be as the source, and to become the vehicle of the source in the world. God's living and true temple. This was stated in a more poetical manner in the spiritual literature of Kemet. The fact that godliness within man is not manifest at first was portrayed in the death of Osir, man's divine self. So Osir is man's divine self. The first law, the law of Amen, which says that you are made in the image and likeness of a piece that nothing can disturb. So if you want to get wisdom and understanding, then you go to your become Osir, wisdom and understanding. You become Osir by keeping your peace in all midst of all your challenges in life. You realize that nothing and no one can be against you. It's been 9 years I've been studying this. And I used to think that you get on my nerves. And I don't think that no more. I just said, Duanita, thank you, God, for bringing me this challenge, to give me the opportunity to practice the law of peace.
Well, I did take it peacefully. I was just worked up about it now, thinking about it. But I just told her to speak. I just told her, let me know when I've done something that needs to be, because I need to know. So
you don't need to know. She don't need to be telling you nothing. And you don't need her to tell you when you've done this, that, and the third.
She gone now, but anyway.
Well, she'll be back. There'll be other people like her coming into your life until the way these laws work, until you reach perfect peace, until you reach peace in all your challenges, the challenges are going to keep coming.
That's right.
And just when you think,
I'm ready.
Yeah, and just when you think you got it, just when you've gone about 6-7 weeks and nobody has been able to puncture your peace, just when you think you are there, bam, you get hit. You say, where did that come from? Yes. Why? Because that what you call God, or that what we call Neteru, or the source, or the universe, is perfecting us in every way. The problem with man is that man don't know how to get out the way.
Right.
I observe these cats around here, and we don't talk to each other with the mouth, but I be feeling them. I look down and say, oh, you hungry? And then I go over there and put the food in the thing, and they run over there and eat. But they didn't walk up to me and say, hey, boss, I'm hungry. Put some food in my plate. So how does that happen? If it happens with them, it happens with us. But we be so busy that we're not aware that it's happening. I heard you all talking yesterday about going into the darkness, and how you feel when you go into the darkness. One of the initiation procedures that my husband and I had to go through was being blindfolded. We could not take it off. You commit to something, you follow through with it. We could have taken it off, but the practice, the exercise, the ritual was to go 24 hours with a blindfold on. And you had to examine everything that was going on inside of you. The frustration, the temptation to take it off, all of that stuff.
That sounds amazing.
It was amazing. And you walking around, you had to do so many things differently. You couldn't walk fast because you might bump your leg or your knee
Ooh,
on the
don't bust
table.
my toe. Don't bust.
You had to take your time. You had to be patient with whom? With yourself. Yeah. You had to go to the refrigerator to get your food, to prepare the meal. I had to cook. I couldn't stop doing nothing. I go in the refrigerator and had to feel for the food to choose what I was going to cook. And then I had to, it's a step by step process. And it makes you appreciate being able to see. And it makes you understand what's happening with people who cannot see. It makes you practice things that you thought you couldn't do. Well, I'm not a patient person. I like for that. I'm not. No, you're not a not. You can't say what you are because you're not. You're not a not. You are.
You know what you not are because you ain't did it yet sometimes.
But once you practice this patience, patience gives you what? As the Rasta say, overstanding. Patience gives you understanding.
Yes.
You start hearing better because now you can't see, you got to listen.
Yeah, you got to smell the food to make sure what you picked out the refrigerator is what it is. If it's not by the shape of it, like a bell pepper,
yeah,
it's a different shape. You gotta smell it
and touch.
Yes, you gotta smell it.
You gotta use all your senses.
All your senses that you take for granted.
Yeah,
and you gotta
touch it even more because now you're looking with your hands.
You're looking with your inner eye. That's right.
Right.
Your hand. Your
sensory. You know, we think the senses are not only the senses by themselves because, like if you don't have, if your vision is challenged, then you're going to be. I call it this looking. I hear you what you're saying, Mama, but you're looking with your hands now, or you're tasting with your nose.
Correct, because when that food, I know y'all women in the kitchen know this, but when that food is done, when it is right, your nose tells you. You go turn it off. You don't have to wait for nobody to tell you turn it off. You turn it off because it's something when all those seasonings come together as one, and that fragrance comes out of that pot. You know it's done. It's done.
I prepared my best meals when I was on a 40-day fast. You couldn't taste nothing.
Right.
I heard that. Yeah.
You're just going, you're listening and you're hearing and you're smelling and you're looking at what it looks like, but you can't put it in your mouth because you're on a fast.
You're the only person I've met who's done a 40-day fast other than myself. How you like that fast?
It was amazing.
Amazing.
It was amazing. Yeah.
I sure would like to be able to do it now. I don't know what's going on. I gotta gird my loins up or something. Okay, so with the law of our men comes reasoning. If in truth, it is our nature to be at peace. At peace meaning free of automatic responses. What? Don't do that. Why you move that? Automatic responses. Patience. Slow to what? Slow to anger.
Anger.
If in truth our nature is to be at peace, that means free of automatic emotional responses in situations of challenge, then the only thing we need to do is to ignore the emotional reflexes that come up in such situations. The others teach differently. The others say being angry is natural. Being sad is natural. It's natural to be mad. It's natural. No, it ain't. It's an emotional response because you're not disciplined in patience, in love, in kindness. You have not embraced peace as a reality. It's just a term.
Speaking of peace, she's got her hand up.
Okay, peace. Where's she at? Speak peace.
Hey y'all, hey.
There y'all, hey yourself.
I just wanted to add, just from my journey of being at peace, I meditated. I asked God to name me. At peace came, but I wasn't at peace at the time. And so for 20 plus years, I've had to learn the lesson of becoming at peace. So one thing I just wanted to say is anger is a part of the process. Frustration is a part of all these negative emotions are part of the process to get us to a more peaceful place within ourselves. So a lot of times we want to just cut it out.
Yeah, we have to learn. We have to learn that.
I think one of the things about where it says, uh, be angry, but sin not.
Uh-huh.
So you can be pissed off about stuff, but don't
To
sin.
our growth.
The
Huh?
body's gonna tell you to get that together because
You,
the body
you
gonna say, I
throw,
don't like it.
You can't live in it. Too
yeah,
much of anything is bad for the body, is bad for the spirit, is bad for the mind. So, you know, you can't live there. But to deny those emotions or pretend like they don't exist or they don't have value, or that's unhealthy too.
Right.
So you have to recognize them, and then from the recognition, you make new choices. You know what I'm saying?
Because the body will thrive on the negativity and look for all that, like this drama, the Ricky Lake. I call them the Ricky Lake people. They love the drama. I didn't come up in the household of that. So that stuff that I don't like it. I'm moving. I'm leaving. Or I'm gonna say something, I'm out. You know? But that serotonin, what is the chemical? Is it serotonin or dopamine?
Dopamine.
The excitement of the drama is what people like. The excitement of it, and they thrive. The
Yep.
kids run to it like swarms of bees. I'm like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that. I don't function well in that situation.
Me either.
All right. Everything that you all said is well, where can I put it? Fits well into the construct of what we're sharing here today. And the when you use the term is we grow out of it, or it's all a part of the process. That's the challenge. Those are the challenges. And you can reject the challenges or accept the challenges. The universe doesn't care because the universe doesn't have feelings. The universe just dispenses the laws, and we abide by the laws or we break the laws. We all have a choice. Like P said, yeah, we have the choice. But in getting training and learning what these things are and how they fit into our lives, give us a broader arena of choices and the ability to make the right choices.
Right.
So in understanding that these experiences are the challenges set to bring us closer to our oneness with God, or our divinity, or our divine self, or our divine purpose. Everything is based on what you accept. When I began to study it this way, I accepted it. I didn't accept it like it's the only truth. I accepted it as this is a tool I can use.
Yes, the tool.
And yeah, it's a tool I can use. So the tool says that when you have these experiences, these are challenges set, SCT, that word again, to bring you into your divinity. And that would be making you one with Osea. What is the point of suffering and destroying our health and performance abilities if we can be at peace? When you're at peace, your health does not suffer. When you're not at peace, your health suffers.
Right.
Your heart goes tight, it beats faster, your breath gets shorter, your constrictions in your veins in your brain it cause you to have a headache, all kinds of stuff. You get indigestion. So when peace in situations of challenge leads to enhanced intuition and spiritual power. Don't you want your intuition to be higher and stronger? Of course you do. Don't you want your spiritual power to be stronger? Of course you do. So what's the way to get that to happen? To accept the challenges when they come to you as God's way or the source's way of bringing you into a point where you have to choose peace over anger. You got the name Heru. Heru is the choice. Thank you. Heru is God's choice. Heru is God's will. So if you make up your mind you're going to live a certain way, and you stray from that, that means your heru is weak. Your will is weak. So you have to work on that through your meditations. One thing meditation, guided meditations does, it helps you to grow. It helps you to move beyond your anger, move beyond your doubt, move beyond your fear, move beyond your grief, all these things. So that was a reasoning. The truism is, I live expecting neither gain nor loss. I live expecting neither gain nor loss. I live expecting neither pain nor pleasure from the things I need in life, because my nature is essentially unconditioned. So when you love somebody, you expect them to love you back. That's a conditioning response. That means you were conditioned from your childhood to think that you deserve that. True love don't ask for nothing, because the more you give it, the more you have. It's the only thing that I know of that the more you get it out of you, the bigger it grows inside of you. Love is amazing when you really, really practice it. So when I have to use my own self because I don't know other people's stories. You know your own story. But when, let's say, for example, the first time I started courting this brother, I was 15. And I called him. So what did I expect for him to do? Call me. But ain't no law say he had to call me.
Nope.
That was my conditioning, that what I give to you, you're supposed to give me back. Why? Because there's this law that they gave us growing up. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's not the correct thinking. It's do unto others what is right unto you.
Mama, I met a man named James, and James told me, he said, we were talking about that, and he said, and once you learn a person, then, wait a minute, what did he say? Do unto others as, say it again. Oh my goodness.
Do unto others as they do unto you.
Right. And he said, once you learn a person, we were talking about treat
a person as you want to be treated.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were talking about treat someone as you want to be treated. And he said, once you learn them, then you treat them how you know they like to be treated.
They like to be treated. That's right. Total and complete unselfishness. Unconditional love. Unconditional. It has no conditions on it. See? So now when you look at this, that thing came out of the book. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But where did what James say? Say what he said again.
He said, once you learn a person, then you
treat them as
like they would like to be
treated. Treat them. First, you treat them like you want to be treated. Then you treat them like they want to be treated. Right. Because in reality, the way you want to be treated is the same way they want to be treated. We all want to be treated with love, with respect, with kindness, with peace, with patience, with understanding, and all that good stuff. So what's the difference in saying it, do unto others you have them do unto you? What's the difference in saying that and saying treat people as you want to be treated? What is the difference?
One is it seems like one is selfish.
And selfishness does not belong where peace is. Selfish is a conditioned response based out of your fear that you ain't gonna be treated right.
Ooh, and then you meet those people, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, you know it. You think it, you get it.
Because they have different definitions of what things are. Because based on how
definitions, define. It's so fine that you can't even see it. You don't even know where it came from. You don't even understand how it's affecting your brain. I'm so glad you said that. You brought it up. So treat others as you want to be treated is a much higher concept than do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Nobody can live up to that. But you know how to treat somebody like how you want to be treated. because you know how you want to be treated. So that brings us to another disturbance, male-female relationship, where they have these arguments after they have been so loving and wonderful to each other. Who's supposed to keep the peace in the argument? Dun, 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 dun.
They expect the woman to.
Well, the
Both
one
of them to do it.
the one
Go
who
ahead, Star.
started
What you
had
said,
that
Star?
They
Wait a minute.
expect the woman to.
Hold that thought. And what did you say, Haru?
That was at peace.
I said both of them are expected to.
No,
Well,
both ain't expected.
Well,
They
I
both
mean,
should.
women are expected higher than men.
Yes. Now that brings you to why?
Because we're the nurturers, we're the mama,
All right. Why do you say, Star?
and we should be submissive,
I
quote
ain't saying
unquote.
that,
Why do
I
I
ain't
say
saying
they
that
expect?
either. You asked, and I'm just telling like the thought process.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. What'd you say, Star?
Why do they expect the woman to?
Yeah.
Well, they've been expecting everything out of the woman since Adam. That hasn't changed. They've been blaming the woman since Adam. That hasn't changed. They have not been taking responsibility since Adam. That hasn't changed. So that's why I say they expect the woman to.
Well, think about this. If people are expecting it to come from the woman, then there's something they already know about the woman that they have not put into their own consciousness in the form of words.
Period. Say that stuff, Yabe. Keep doing what you do to me. Oh, I'm sorry.
She is the next thing to.
Really?
This woman is the next thing to.
Go ahead, say it. See, so people in this earth already know what they want to act like. They do not know, which means they're not living truth. And if we act like we don't know that they do know, we're not living truth. So the whole thing is that everybody needs to go into your secret place and ask yourself, am I living truth? What do I need to do to live this truth? Because what does it take to live truth? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's what it takes to live truth. And to get wisdom, you have a lot of life experiences that might feel like it's tearing you apart. But if you don't want wisdom, don't ask for it. Because you will have life experiences that's going to try you. It's going to test all of our conditionings. Peace said, because she didn't say the whole sentence I'm gonna say, but she used the word submissive. Yes, submissive. And what does that mean? To live under something.
I say sub, S-U-B, below.
Yes, below. The only thing, according to the book, the Bible, it says God made man a little lower than the angels. What does that mean? God gave us what? The ability to choose. Right. And when I say God gave us, God dwells in us as us, and God has chosen to make its own choices. Because according to the ancient Kemetic system, this energy or the source made everything and decided, well, shoot, let me experience everything I've made.
Well, see, Mama, that's the children's father. He grew up Sunni Muslim, and he would always say, that in Islam, man is higher than the angels because we're the only one in creation that has the power to choose. We're the only thing that Allah has created that can make choice, be conscious of self and things like that. Nothing else, even the angels in creation, don't have that gift and that power.
Well, I don't really know if angels have it or not. I don't know if they're not conscious of themselves. I do know this, that what we call angels and what we call deities and what we call faculties are the law. It's the law, and you can't change the law. No matter what you do, the law can't change itself.
Right.
And
So you know how we can decide if we're gonna do the right, you stay on the path or not. But angels, they follow the commands. They move on our command, you know. So I think that's what he was trying to say.
all of the different cultures on this earth have brought down from their own awareness and consciousness um, different things that teach us and raise us up to a higher level. And it gets no, that's why we need to look at everything instead of being locked down into one thing. One of the phrases the Sufis use that I really love is God is my beloved. And what is it? I am his beloved. He is my beloved, or it is my beloved, and I am his beloved. But God and I are one in so many words. And the idea of making our own choices sometimes lead to some very hardcore
Lessons.
experiences. However, we also have this thing called the law of karma, and that puts us on these cycles. Some people say things like, "Well, I ain't coming back." I know I've said I ain't coming back. I'm doing everything I got to do now. I don't want to come back to this.
No, I said it too.
That's not your call. That's not your
Right.
call, because the law determines that. This atoms are so small you cannot see them with the naked eye.
Just a little.
Yet everything inside of us is made up of atoms and molecules. According to, and I shared this with you all before, according to the Hebrew teachings, the name of God is embedded in every cell. Then the scientists come along and say every cell got a DNA. DNA. So
I have I have a question.
Question.
So when we say when we leave here, we don't want to come back. We want to do everything. We want to do everything right. So that we don't have to come back. Does that is that pure?
To think like
that? You're not necessarily trying to do everything right. You want to fulfill your soul's purpose. Everything that your soul was set to do in this lifetime, you want to complete it. So Michael Beckwith says, God says, my beloved, but you want to live a life that when you go home, God says, my beloved, whom I'm well pleased. So you want to do your work, all your work here.
One of the things that I have found with the 11 laws, that it gives you a process to make that happen. You know, back in the day, they would say, I can't think of the phrase now, but it's like, do what God say do. So the question is, how do you do what God say do? How do you know what God is saying do? Because somebody gave you 10 commandments and said that's what God said do, but they lied. How do you know they lied? Because the Bible says, seeking you shall find, knocking the door shall be open, asking you shall receive. So people don't ask, they don't see, and therefore they don't know. See, so how you going to be afraid? I say this to people all the time. You scared of knowledge, but you say you're not scared of God. So how can you be scared of knowledge and not scared of God when God said, go get the knowledge? What's wrong with you? Think about that. People are more scared of the white man than they are of God. That's what I say all the time. I say it now right here in front of y'all.
Well, a lot of people
God.
A lot of people. I'm sorry. A lot of people subconsciously think that, whether it's conscious or subconscious, a lot of people think that white man is God.
Yeah, like, they do.
When they see God, they're triggered, and they actually think. I mean, when they see a white man, they're triggered, and they actually think that the white man is God. The pandemic showed that.
So that's why when you learn and you study so you can help people who have not reached the point where they understand the truth and the reality of life. And if you're appointed to bring this knowledge to people, then that's your appointment and that's what you do. And you're not going to make a whole lot of friends, but you might help a whole lot of enemies because people are afraid when the book said, fear not, for I am God. And where is God at? Right here. Right here. How do I know God is right there? I can't tell you how you know. You have to know that for yourself.
That's right.
I know God is there because to me, God is life and God is love. And as long as I have love and as long as I have life, I have God. So why would I let God go in the name of peace to fight a war? Why would I do that? If God for me is peace, which I accept that, I accept that God for me is peace. I can't say that that's what God is for you. God for me is love. If I accept that, then if I do anything other than bring peace and bring love, who am I working for? And that's a poem that I wrote. Who you working for? You selling coke? You selling crack? You going around, wearing your clothes half up your back? Who you working for? So that awareness, the consciousness, the ability to know. Sister Aduna, did you get any kind of answer to your question? Because we went all. Give me the question again.
Well, I'm just wondering if, like when we say, one, we
not coming back here
don't know
again.
what the fullness of our job is here. We don't know what that is totally. We know what we know. And if it could be, or if I'm just like,
go ahead,
that if when we leave, when I think of oneness with God, we don't have the fear, we don't have that this is uncomfortable, we don't have any of that because God is not that. God is. So when we assume or think or wonder, am I doing enough so I don't have to come back? When coming back, what is that? We don't even know where we're going, so coming back, is that to earth or we might go to another life
realm or what have you.
that is even in more serious situation than we are now.
Well, the way I understand it is, some ancients say that, we come to our soul. So when you talk about a soul's journey, right?
Yeah.
So a soul's journey is infinite. Yes.
Yeah.
And like you said, it can go in so many different directions. But when the soul enters the body to come here on earth is a school. The soul came here to learn whatever lessons. It's like a preparatory school almost. So the soul is coming here to be primed and ready to go to those other dimensions, whatever they might be, to go to those other assignments, right? And so that's where the ascended masters come from. The Orisha, the 7 Orisha, that's the concept, is that they came to earth, they had these experiences numerous times, and their soul was perfected, and now they are an exalted soul, an exalted being, right? And they don't have to come on earth no more to learn these particular lessons that the rest of us do. So that's why when you meet somebody and you're like, well, why don't they figure it out? And why da 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 da? But if you follow Johnny Coleman, who's the founder of the New Thought Church in Chicago, and there's another one in Florida where I'm a member of. In that philosophy of New Thought, what they teach is that your soul is infinite and it continues to come here for lessons. So you might figure it out, be like, dang, why they not doing such and such, da 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 da. But their soul is not prepared for that in this lifetime.
Right. Or it's not.
Their soul came here to learn a particular lesson, to do it a certain way. For that particular soul, you may never figure it out. And so in respecting that everyone is on a soul's journey,
right,
you might come back 3 times to get that one lesson that I saw 3 lifetimes ago. That's your soul's journey. Your soul is patterned to come here 5 times, 10 times, 12 times, whatever, before it evolves onto someone somewhere else. So it teaches you to respect everybody's soul's journey. Nobody has it figured out. None of us. So we're all here learning, we're all here growing, we're all here sharing. And when we do that, it comes out so much more beautifully than setting a standard to say, well, it has to be this way or that way. There are some things that are this way or that way, but for the soul, it's much more broad.
Well, I would like to add to that as well, is that we have many concepts that run through our minds because God is infinite. Mm-hmm. So you can think, there are billion thoughts out there that we can think. There are many experiences that we all going to have. There are cultures of the indigenous people who are very close to nature and very close to how nature moves. Like right now, we're coming upon the fall equinox. Right. And so during the equinox, though there are some of us who fast for between 4 and 10 days on certain things. Some things we don't eat, some things we do eat because we're fasting for a reason, for getting rid of the sugar and the crap that we ate during the hot days, trying to cool off and all that stuff. We have compiled mucus in our system, and during the equinox, we get rid of that. And then 3 months later, we come into the winter solstice, which is the highest time of the entire year, according to the ancient teachings. I do not make blanket statements because I really don't know. Mm-hmm. But what I do know is that knowledge is out there for us to study. Yes. And the book said, get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Mm-hmm. And in terms of these 11 laws, which we're just on 1 and 2, it takes a minute. I'm sharing. This is what I'm doing. I'm sharing. So if you already know 150 things, now you know 151 things. Right. And so the truism, because the time is moving, but the truism of our men says, I live expecting neither gain nor loss. What's the key word in there? Expecting. Not expecting, right. I live neither expecting gain nor loss. If you live that way, then when you have what you call a loss, you're not going to fall apart. If you get what you call a gain, you're not going to become arrogant because you're not expecting one or the other. You're living. I don't know what these cats be expecting around here, but I know what they get. So they have to live with what they get. I guess they're happy. They haven't run away yet. I live expecting neither gain nor loss, pain nor pleasure from the things I need in life, because my nature is essentially unconditioned. Unconquerable. Mm-hmm. Unconditioned. That means we go into the conditioning that we've had on this earth, and through meditation, through guided meditation, we eliminate that conditioning. For example, you see how you frowning as you think, Heru? That's a conditioning. Somebody you knew or you grew up around, maybe your granddaddy or somebody, did the same thing. Your mama. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a condition. It's a conditioned response. You know what I'm saying? My father, I act like my daddy. I talk like my daddy, but I don't look anything like my daddy. I look exactly like my mom. And my mother was like an angel. That's what everybody called her. You never saw Elizabeth. I never seen her angry but one time. And that's when I was hard-headed. She beat the pure living daylights out of me. But my dad was a talker. He didn't beat. He didn't do any of that. He was a person who made you think before you do anything. Think. And that's what I share with people. We can only share what we've been conditioned with. Our people, our mothers, our grandmothers, grandfathers, aunts, uncles, they all poured parts of themselves into us. And whether we want to take a look at ourselves or not, I always say, try to influence people or encourage people to look at who you are. Look at your own package. Look at it. Why not look at it? It's you, you know. So the second truism is that which is myself, my big self, capital SELF, has no likes, has no dislikes, has no preferences or predetermined emotional or thought responses to situations. Soon as you find yourself flying off, reacting to a situation or backing down or whatever your emotional response might be, that's through the guided meditation. You now are perceiving what you're doing. Normally we don't perceive what we do. We just respond because that's how we've been conditioned. And that's the Europeans' way. They just respond. Look at this girl, this woman that just died, so-called Queen Elizabeth. She comes from Black people. They know their ancestors were Black. You may not know it. The public may not know it. All you gotta do is pick up a book, Ancient and Modern Britons, and it tells you. The Tudors were Black, were Moors. So as you continue to mix with others, then you whiten the seed, and after a while, you don't show up no more until a girl named Megan shows up and marries your grandson. And they say, oh, we're back.
That part. That part, but we don't want to talk about that.
But the white world is celebrating her, and people all throughout the Caribbean and Africa are saying, good, she did, good.
Yeah, yeah.
Now maybe
like
you can do something, Charles. But I'm gonna tell y'all right here, I go on stand right now till Charles ain't gonna be on that throne long. Okay.
No, I thought the same thing, Mama. Heck, he don't have what it takes.
We did not think that. We received that through our thoughts as a message from the gods, from the other side. He ain't gonna be on that throne long. Because
it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be real messy because he don't know what he's doing.
Because the head has been severed. That's Elizabeth.
The head has been. It is the time for change. Yeah. We all know change is coming. We all know.
Yeah. That's like I described her to you last night. I don't want to.
What?
I described Elizabeth to you last night, that she's the octopus. You know, she's the head with all these tentacles. By cutting off the tentacles, you still got to go after all these little.
By cutting off the head.
By cutting off the head, you got to go after all of these tentacles. And that's all that she had put forth through her armies.
Well, this is the time for us to learn law, to learn these laws and whatever other laws are in other systems. But to learn these laws, because this is the time of the elevation. Those who are in the going down part, they're in the time of the destruction.
Yeah.
But when the seesaw go down on one side, it comes up on the other.
That's right.
And you speak of choice. It's your choice which side you want to be on. That which is the God that lives and dwells inside of each of us has given us these laws down through ancient times. These laws are way over 10,000 years old.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Just about going back to Charles. Was there some sort of video of him sitting on the throne in full garb? I remember seeing that, and I looked at it, and it was like, he doesn't look comfortable. He doesn't look like he belongs there. That is exactly what I thought. I was like,
well, you got to download this, sis.
I just want to say, I was like, oh.
Well, remember who you are. Please, all of y'all, remember who you are. Don't be surprised at the revelations that's coming to you. You are the knowers on this planet. You are the knowers. You got the DNA that was here from the beginning of time. You got the power of God's pressed in every cell you have. That's why I come here to share with you all these things, because you're wasting your energy being surprised, shocked, and all that stuff. You are a knower. That's what you are. You know what you know what you know. Be happy. Be thankful.
We got
what you say
at our fingertips.
Yeah, you are. You got the world right on you. You holding the world.
Right.
And you decided a long time ago that you gonna make this day come, because everybody gets tired. Every living thing gets tired sooner or later.
Yeah.
And tired is not a negative response. Tired is a signal from the body. It's time to rest. See? So we're going into the rest period, and they're going into the unrest period. that which I hope y'all got that. But
Yeah.
sister,
You got
Sister
it?
Adoni,
Better pay attention.
Sister Adoni, these thoughts that we have about I'm not gonna come back no more. I'm gonna live my life to the fullest, so I don't have to come back no more. These are just thoughts.
That's just thought.
Right.
They're just thoughts. They're not there for us to hang ourselves up with it because you ain't going nowhere till you go.
That part.
And you're not coming until you come. That's
right.
Well,
Hello.
you could take that a couple of ways.
Hey, you know what?
Anyway, anywho,
Wait a minute, don't play with me like that.
don't trouble yourself.
I'm
In the
not.
book say that too, trouble not.
Right.
Trouble not
You will.
thyself.
Yeah, I'm just saying that what's right for you and your spirit and your journey, you can't say, well, what is right? What is right for you? That work for you may not work for the next person.
But you don't know what is right. And you don't
That's what I'm saying. So you can't say what's right.
But that's another one of those conditioned thoughts. Is for us to even say you can't say. You can say, you can make manifest.
You really don't know.
You don't know unless you know.
Right.
And the way you learn to know is learning these laws. Because one of the things about the laws, like everybody thought about the first one, which says your peace, you come back here to get your peace back. So if that's the case, then what comes with the peace? That which is myself has no likes, no dislikes, no preferences, no predetermined emotional or thought responses to situation. Now, say comes somebody gonna beg the question, oh, you mean I ain't supposed to like nothing? I ain't supposed to dislike nothing? Say what? I thought we were talking about something on a higher level than your downstairs likes and dislikes. We're saying that we're always telling people about prejudice. That's what prejudice is, prejudging a situation before you know anything about it. But in art and music and creative things, you have to be prejudiced.
Yeah.
You have to judge for yourself if what you are putting out is really a good thing.
Yeah.
Is this going to uplift people or is this going to drive them crazy?
Yep, it'll upset some and soothe others.
There you go. Yes.
Isn't the judgment based on what the what the intention is? If a person is evil, whatever, and that is who they are being, then the intention of that music or that writing or whatever is, does it come out? Does it come out like that?
Well, let's take Jimi Hendrix.
We take that judgment that it has to be good or it has to be, and then that judgment of that is dependent on who's judging.
All right, let's look at Jimi Hendrix music. Jimi Hendrix, when I first heard Jimi Hendrix, I thought it was just a bunch of noise. My husband loved Jimi Hendrix, and I said, well, you're bringing this in the house, just noise. And then one day I sat in the living room and listened to, because I'm not a prejudiced type of person. I might say, okay, I mean, that's a noise. That's my first response. But then I'll go and check it out. And I sat there and I listened to that man playing all them chords and all them strings. And it was one guy. And he sounded like he was playing the bass and the guitar simultaneously and sang on top of it in this funny voice. And then I heard the blues coming out of it. I said, wow. Then I heard Chuck Berry, the influence of what we, our people, call rhythm and blues. White folks took this phrase from Little Richard and called rock and roll. And then they took that and made it so loud and disturbing to the central nervous system that you just could not, you couldn't. Uncle June, I'm gonna call you back, I'm in class. You couldn't not hear all of the components of his music if you were being honest. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what happened? If he had these laws, if he had understood what he really represented And if he knew, like a lot of musicians don't know, you're an instrument yourself.
Right.
You're an instrument of the indwelling intelligence. You're an instrument of the source. And that which is coming out of your head into your heart, or out of your heart into your head, whichever way it go, I'm not sure. But if you're an instrument and you understand that you're an instrument, you're not going to get in the way of yourself. And you're not going to let other things get in the way of yourself and your connection to that energy, like drugs. Some people think that, and see, I was going to say like drugs and white girls, but some people think that that's being prejudiced. But I'm not being prejudiced. I'm not prejudiced. I'm the mother of all creation. And you're doing wrong, I'm going to tell you. And they do wrong. They come to this black man with drugs, all kinds of different sexual activities, all things that bring him down. Elijah Muhammad said, you're going to bring the black man up, lower your skirt, and his mind will go up. See, so our women, we have the boys, we have the sons. How we raise them is going to determine the choices that they make when they go out in the world. And one of the things we need to raise in them is an understanding of these laws, and not necessarily these laws that I'm reading to you, but the laws of this universe. If you don't know the laws, then as the mother or the teacher of these boys and girls, then you need to go learn them. And so you can not only teach it to them, but they can see it living through you. That's why you have these wonderful children. Their ancestors returned. They know what they came back here for, just like you know what you came back here for. But we live in America. We live under this.
Wipe all that away.
Yeah, it makes you think that you don't know. It makes you scared of your own self. You are power. It took me many years, all these years, even some of it right now, to say, okay, I can do this. I can do this. Yeah, I know that what I'm doing is right. I know that what I'm doing is right because it has positive effects on people.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing is right because people thank me for it. I don't even be knowing myself when I'm opening my mouth, what's coming out of my mouth. And that's the God's honest truth. And I tell people all the time who I'm counseling that don't ask me what I told you, because I don't know what I told you. You ought to be recording it or writing it down so you can remember it, because I don't remember it. And what I'm saying is for you. For example, Aduni, if I was to sit and be in counseling with you and things come out of my mouth to your ear, it's because the ancestor inside of you is talking to the ancestor inside of me and saying, this is what she needs.
Yes.
So you can hear it in your ear. That's called a Kabbalah, from mouth to ear. A lot of people think the Kabbalah you can go buy it in a store. It's a book, and the Jews got it and they call it the Kabbalah. But the Kabbalah, the word Kabbalah means from mouth to ear. See? So I want to get through this because we almost through. I'm essentially unconditional. Oh, any more questions, any more thoughts, any more comments?
Well, wait till you finish. I got something to say.
Okay. That which itself has no likes, dislikes, preferences, or predetermined emotional or thought responses to situations. I am essentially unconditioned. This is the truism of our men. This is a description of what you all were talking about just now, of what the soul is. I am essentially unconditioned. I cultivate my happiness through spiritual development. I understand that happiness is not a continuous freedom from pain resulting from difficulties. That's not happiness, but that's what the movies, the love stories,
the conditioning of the world.
Yes, tells you that in order to be happy, you don't suffer, you have no pain. But your pain isn't coming because you're unhappy necessarily, but because you're unhappy, you might have pain. You understand what I'm saying? You're not necessarily unhappy because you had pain, but because you have pain, you are now unhappy. See, but that's a conditioned response to pain. Look at the story of Job. Job showed you what to do when you're in that suffering initiation.
Don't
be quiet. Just sit back and be quiet. Don't be arguing with nobody. That's what Job is saying. Don't debate with your friends. Your friends are saying these things to you because your friends love you. and they don't want to see you suffer. But your friends lack understanding of what you're doing with yourself, and you cannot explain it. I'm not going to curse God and die.
Right.
I don't care what's put on me, because in my heart and soul, I know why I am here. I'm here to be the example of what it looks like to be at peace in the midst of all of this horrible experiences. That's what it looks like.
I sure been
Number
at peace
4.
during this COVID.
Woo, Ashe.
No one knows my name, neither men nor gods. No one has seen my face, neither my father nor my mother. I was before the first time, and I shall be beyond the last. I think you told me something like that, and I wrote it in a book. The law of Auxerre. Your nature is unconquerable peace. Therefore, nothing or no one in the world can be against you. All experiences come to you to promote your reclamation of peace, that you may in turn acquire wisdom and spiritual power. So you may say, why he treat me like that? Why she treat me like that? Or they may say, you know, she ain't your friend, she your enemy. How can she be your enemy? The same thing in her is in you. She may not know it, but if you know it, then you are held responsible for what you know, not for what you don't know. Reasoning. If attaining our natural state of peace in situations of challenge enhances our intuition and spiritual strength, then we should not label situations of challenge as detrimental to our being. If a bad event cannot be avoided, what is the point of allowing it to degrade us? You couldn't have avoided. It was an experience that came down into your life. So why are you responding to it in such a harmful way to your being? But I give more respect to men than to God that is within me, who witnesses all of my thoughts, my feelings, and actions. If we lived with the realness of knowing that this, what we call God, witnesses our every thought, our every feeling, our every action, then you would make different decisions. Or as P said, you would make different choices. But we don't live like we know that. We say we know it. We talk it. We quote books that say it. But we don't live like that. As soon as we get an opportunity to fly off at somebody, as soon as we get an opportunity to be sad, as soon as we get an opportunity to be angry, as soon as we get an opportunity to whatever, we do it. So now, starting with the Elizabeths and all the knowledge that comes to us through everyone. Because you see, I was quoting what happened yesterday. I didn't say much, but I was listening hard. So I wanted to bring this as a part of the extension of what was happening yesterday, especially when you all were talking about going into the dark. Going into the dark is like closing your eyes and going into your inner self. That's where all the knowledge is anyway, in your inner self. That's where you look at yourself like you're under a magnifying glass. And don't be scared anymore of seeing yourself. Yes, I was selfish. Yes, I was mean. Yes, she got on my nerves. Oh no, she didn't get on my nerves. I allowed myself to respond to her that way. See, she didn't get on my nerves. I opened up and allowed it to happen to myself.
And I choose to let her. I choose. It's that choice.
And when you study these types of things, and when you do your meditations, especially guided meditation, you're guiding yourself away from those kinds of responses. And as I've told Mama Howard over and over again, my first time after 3-4 years, when I did the Auxerre meditation, my life changed. That third or fourth meditation, which only comes once a year, when I did that Auxerre meditation, I felt peace. I experienced the peace. I experienced what peace really, really felt like. That's why you want to go into the darkness. That's why you want to go into the cut off all the lights, so you can experience that peace. Because where peace is, nothing else is.
What is the Auxerre meditation?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
AUSAR. The Greeks call him Osiris. And there's power in the name. Osar or Osir, Ausar. The Greeks call it Osiris. So I don't say Osiris. Once you learn right, you do right. You don't walk around feeling bad because you didn't know. You give thanks that that God and the universe, that your ancestors and your angels and your guardians thought enough for you to bring to you the truths. You don't be going around beating yourself down because you didn't know something. It wasn't time for you to know it. If we can I identify as myself. You want to say something, somebody? Okay. I identify as myself the indwelling divinity that guides the functions of my being. How do you know you have an indwelling divinity that's guiding the function of your being? We're all sitting here. Anybody telling their heart to beat? Anybody telling their pump air through your body? Anybody? No. Nobody? Oh, okay. So that's a very simple way for you to know. And they are operating under laws. They are universal laws that we may not know how to pronounce them, but the ancient Kemetic people, the ancient people of that land, they knew because that's where they lived. They lived in the knowing of who they were. They lived in the knowing of God. They lived in the knowing of our men. And I said, our ancestors were slick because instead of saying, God is our men, God is our men, they just got everybody saying amen. I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. I am the one life. I am the one life dwelling as the self in all beings. I am, as the sister always says, I am the one life dwelling as the self of all beings. And how do the Rasta say? They say, I and I.
I and I.
Now, what do the metaphysical and all them other people that call themselves New Age? There ain't no New Age. It's just the age is what it is. What is new? Nothing. My grandma told me that a long time ago. She said, nothing new under the sun. And I said, but Big Mama, they didn't have airplanes back in the day. She said, you don't know that.
Wasn't there?
So I don't say those blanket statements anymore because you only know what you know. You don't know what you don't know. And it's a whole lot that we don't know. And there's a whole lot that we think we know. But that's your karma. That's your relationship with this creator of the universe. I am the one life dwelling as the self of all beings, myself as the indwelling divinity in all things is the source of prosperity and peace in the world. So people ask the question, well, why is there so much war? Because that's what Peace was sharing with us, that we have a choice. And many people have made the choice that war is where they want to go because they're still like babies. They're still pulling at the nipple. They still want to have suck on everybody's life force. I see you, Howard. Is it that deep, Howard? Great day. But we have these choices. So
I'm receiving.
Those were the first two. And maybe in months to come, we'll bring in the chakras that go with these. But Howard loves to. So next week, we're going to bring in the second law, the law of Tehuti. Het Heru, this is what I wanted to tell you. You are the wife of Tehuti. Het Heru, in all her beauty and splendor and love, is the wife of, wisdom, is the wife of wisdom. That's why you be spitting out all that wisdom all the time.
Yes, the communication.
Yeah, you're the wife of wisdom.
Yes.
And so when we know these things, it helps us to be more of who we are. Aduni, you come in this earth under the energy of what the astrologers call Aquarius. That means you are the water and the soul of all of us, of everything that is. A lot of times Aquarius people have lifestyles, conditioning that's really hard for the average person to take. A lot of times in Aquarius lives, they may not grow up with their father, or they may grow up with a father who's not really there. They have very few people understand them when they're children. Very few people understand what they're talking about because their head is in the heavens even though their feet is firmly planted on the earth. So your life experiences are only coming to you to help you to awaken and live the reality of your spirituality. To live the reality of your spirituality. Talk about spirituality. We study books, we join organizations, we learn all this stuff, but it's not about the learning as much as it is about the living. You learn to live and you live to love.
To learn. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Heteru, you were going to say something. You said after I finished, you were going to say something.
Yes, when I was doing some study for the 11 laws of Asar, I came across they had another listing listed, and then before that, someone had dropped some books off in my house, and I put them away, and my daughter was like, "I want to read them." So I want to share just some of the rules, and then I'll tell you where it came from.
Okay.
It says, do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. Do not tell your troubles to others unless you are sure they want to hear them. When in another's lair, show him respect or else don't go there. If a guest in your lair annoys you, treat him cruelly and without mercy. Do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal.
Wait, you said when a guest annoys you, treat him with no mercy?
If a guest in your lair annoys you, treat him cruelly and without mercy. I'll tell you where it comes from, but I want to just go through these real quick.
I got a feeling. Go ahead.
You know. Then it says, number 6 says, do not take that which does not belong to you unless it is a burden to another person and he cries out to be relieved. Number 7, acknowledge the power of magic if you have employed it successfully to obtain your desires. If you deny the power of magic after having called upon it with success, you will lose all you have obtained. Number 8, do not complain about anything which you need not subject yourself. Number 9, do not harm little children. Number 10, do not kill non-human animals unless you are attacked or for your food. And when walking in open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, you ask him to stop. If he does not stop, destroy him.
Woo!
Hold on.
Woo!
Hold on.
When baby, my mother told, when my daughter
said, wait a minute.
Baby, listen.
So when my daughter said she wanted to read them 11 laws of Satan, don't sound like no, I mean, I was like, wow.
Well, you know a man wrote it.
But I'm just saying some of this stuff makes sense to me.
Yeah, but look how they mix the good with the evil. The book tell you that. The Bible is a great book. Yeah.
But good and evil are all right. Like when you study
what blew my mind is that with everything there is light and dark in everything. And so I was like, wow, look at these rules. They're saying don't sexually advance to someone unless you've received some type of mating signal, or don't harm little children. That stuff don't sound like bad to me.
No, if you study Satanism, you'll learn.
I said how they mix the good with the evil. Yeah. That's how Satan, as they call him, it works. That's his operandus. That's its operation. That's how it operates. Because when you do that, you create a state in a person's mind of loyalty, disloyalty, confusion, and you're clear about this, but you're not sure about that.
Right.
There's no peace in that. That breaks the first law.
Okay, but hear this though. What? We got the 10 commandments, and people they use that for evil. So what's the difference?
Because the 10 commandments is not true. The 10 commandments is a refabrication of the 42 laws. You can't command nobody to live right or wrong.
Right.
Because you're not living right with the laws. You don't even know the laws that you live under that's supposed to protect you, to keep you at a state of peace. We asked around there, I mean, suppose somebody's raping your mama. You supposed to be at peace with that?
Hell no.
He said, yes. You're supposed to take a sword and kill him in peace.
You damn right. And see, when you talk about Satan, and I did some research on Satanism, because whenever they tell you, oh, you should be scared or so whatever, I'm gonna go straight to it because I want to know what it's about.
That's right.
So I started studying Satanism just to figure out a knowledge of it. And it's a religion, it's a way of life, and they basically believe in light and dark. They don't believe, oh, there's just dark, or oh, there's just light. They believe that as a soul, you walk in the middle. You know, you carry both, and you got to use either one whenever it's necessary, which is an E5 principle as well. You know, and E5 is like, hey, keep your hand on your machete. You understand me? And use it whenever needed. You know, so in some philosophies, you know, God is both. And even in the New Thought, like I was telling y'all before with Johnny Coleman and that whole movement, you know, God is taught as a vibration, as a frequency. So yeah, there's a lower frequency of God and there's a higher frequency of God, but it's all God.
But listen,
you don't give that power away to something or someone else when it's only one power and one presence on the planet, and that is the Most High. So knowing that, then the dark is the light and the light is the dark. I mean, hey.
But listen, and then the story goes that Satan was God's first baby, was the first angel.
And
he was prideful. I'm coming. He was prideful or whatever. I don't know. I can't pull the words right out, but
he was competing with God, the same thing he's doing today.
Yes. And
so because he was so beautiful and so talented that he could take God's place. If God, what I need you for.
But see, the thing about it is, a lot of people want to give that energy away. They say the devil made me. When children used to tell me that the devil made me do it, I said, no, he didn't. I said, you made the choice to make the move. You decided to go one direction as opposed to the other. You know, if your mother tell you don't walk in the street because you could, you know, if you don't pay attention, you could go across the street. You know, there's threats there. Or if you drive recklessly, you know, the consequences for an action. So when
suppose we were teaching, come back.
Name another energy on our, I'm right here. Oh, let me put my computer back over here.
I'm saying, when you learn that you are essentially at peace, and you're teaching this to your children, and you say to them, if I tell you or advise you or counsel you not to do something, and you do it anyway, is that going to result in peace for you or not? And they already know, no, that's not going to result in peace for me. Then would you do it anyway? You know, our raising our children goes deeper than just telling them what to do or what's right or what's wrong, what not to do. We've got to teach everything to them. We have to show them how to make choices by giving them the choices within our own discipline of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I raised mine. I always gave them choices and taught them consequences. Right. And I let them know from knee-high to a grasshopper, if you make a particular choice, this, you know, you have a certain consequence or a certain outcome that comes to it. I never raised my children to be like, do this or don't do that. Yes, you know, I'm gonna whoop you. There's this huge punishment.
Well, just like there are so many philosophies and schools of thought out there. There are so many different ways that people raise their children, quote unquote. But like I was sharing before you came with them, that in the Yoruba culture, for example, you just can't walk in a grown person's conversation. You just can't run in the room to just talk about what's going on with you. And what does that do for you? That teaches you patience and gives you wisdom, and it shows you what understanding is, because your parent or the elder is going to give you understanding as soon as you show that you know the law. We are a wild bunch over here. We just go from here to there to there to here. I asked God for this. I said, show me the oldest religion. I don't care about the rest of it. Just show me the oldest one. Yeah. Because what I have found is that they all mirror or reflect something from another one, you know. And
so we have to be aware of them. They're, you know, when that came, because when those laws of Satan came up, I'm looking up the laws of Asar. I did not type the word Satan in there, but it came up, and I said, let me look and see what this is. And because we have to be aware, there has to be a level of awareness so that we can have the business of discernment.
But you already there's the law is already inside of you, and why did that come up when you were looking at Hosea? Why did that come up? Did you ask that question? What answer did you get? Yeah, well, it came up.
I didn't ask the question.
But I'm gonna give you the answer.
I went and looked at, because somebody, but here's the other thing. But I'm telling you, somebody put some books on my porch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made, that happened first. And then when we were talking about the laws of our side, and I said, my daughter was like, I want to see. And I said, well, let me look at this with you. I don't want you to look at this by yourself. I said, well, look at it together. So go ahead and tell me what you're going to say.
No, I'm just saying, for every action, there's an equal and opposing reaction. That is a law.
Oh, okay. Got you.
For every action, there is an opposing reaction.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that for everything you do, that something's going to be in opposition to you. That means that be expecting to see the balance to whatever it is that's going on with you, because that's life, not because you're not supposed to have any expectations.
Okay.
Your expectations should be mathematically embedded within you. It's all math. It's math and science. So if I go on a long journey, I can expect that at some point I'm gonna get hungry. At some point, I'm gonna get tired.
And at some point you gotta go back.
At some point you gotta, that's right. And absolutely. At some point you gotta go back. But this thing about I'm gonna tell you some advice from my dad. My daddy said, don't put nothing in your brain you can't take out.
Ooh.
When I was a little girl. So that kept me all away from drugs. Forget about that. I ain't taking no acid, no purple haze, whatever, all that stuff people was taking, because they wanted to know what it felt like. I didn't have to know what it felt like. Dad already told me, if you can't get it out your brain, don't put it in there. So there are people who don't get certain kind of advice and wisdom when they're growing up. So they get out in the world, they want to try any and everything. That's not to say I didn't try some stuff. I did try some stuff, but I didn't try nothing that I couldn't get out, that I couldn't let go of. I wanted to know what it felt like to be drunk, because I did not believe that drunk people were really that drunk, that they didn't know what they were doing. So I had to know what it felt like to be drunk. So I drank a whole fifth of scotch. Yes,
for the hard stuff.
Oh yeah, because I want to know.
Burn your chest and put hairs on your chest.
You wanted to step into the dark, right?
I wanted
As
to
a light being,
I wanted
to step into that shadow side. You want to step into that other side and see what
that's
it was
what y'all call it.
That.
I call it stepping into
okay,
the,
Mama, whatever you say.
I call it stepping into the light, because I wanted to know the TRUTH. And I got drunk. I got so drunk, I couldn't even walk up the steps. But I remember the man I was dating the brother I was dating at the time, and he was trying to help me. I said, don't help me. I can do this. And then I started thinking, because I got 4 planets in Virgo, so that already frees me from life.
Lord.
So Lord. I'm the scientist.
She in the bed by 9.
So
she reading books.
You know what? I got upstairs, I plopped down in the chair, and you'll never guess what the first thing I asked for. Where is my toothbrush? But see, I'm a stickler for that. For health, for breath. And I said, where's my toothbrush? And they all started laughing. And then I went and tried to go in the bedroom. I walked in the bedroom, fell across the bed, and you're gonna love this at peace, and couldn't stop rolling. I couldn't control myself. I was trying to stop. I was telling myself to stop. I was trying to grab the spread, everything, but nothing would obey me. My whole body said,
That was one of the best times of your life, one of the best feelings in that moment of your life. Tell the truth.
I ended up between the bed and the wall.
Oh Lord.
But
and didn't feel nothing.
And didn't feel a thing. But all of that was a lesson for me to know that people lie when they say they don't know what they're doing when they get drunk. I knew exactly what I was doing.
Come on with it now. That's what I'm talking about. So the devil made me do it. You knew what the hell you was doing.
No devil ain't no. Yeah, that's right. No devil made you do nothing.
I mean, when they talking about the devil, I'm not talking about your shit situation.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Or what that boy name?
The blame.
The comedian guy, Flip Wilson. The devil made me do it. Well, all of that's fun and it's nice and real fun. But the whole point of I'm making here is that you all are saying about making choices. But a lot of times we think we've determined the choices that we make. But we are ancestors returned.
Yeah.
We have stuff in us from way back yonder that a choice was made before we were even born to even come here. So it's all right. You want to go and sit up under people and learn stuff from them, that's all right. But one thing is for sure, be aware of what you're dipping in. Be aware of that. Ask God to guide you. Ask your ancestors to guide you away from those things that can bring you harm later on in your life. Yeah. Because everybody in here to live long enough to know there's some things we didn't really have to do. We did it. Right. But we ain't had to do it. After it was over, so I didn't. I'm sorry, say that again.
I was just gonna say, and you got a lesson from it, so you know, maybe I don't think I'm gonna do that again. Or sometimes you do go back. Sometimes you do go back in because you just
you do. Sometimes you go back. Yeah. So this body, this mind, this stuff, it go deeper than what we don't even know how deep this rabbit hole is.
So many layers.
Not at all.
Yes. So you learn what you learn, but be precise in your learning. Don't be prejudiced in your learning. Don't think there is no this is it.
Right.
Is all of it is it.
Right.
That's why it's here. All of it is it. What the word Allah means. All is all. All in all. Allah is Allah from the front and Allah from the back. Allah. HALLA. It's all Allah. So here we are fighting over the real name of God. Fighting over what a woman is. Fighting over what a woman ain't. But there's one thing I do know. That thing you call Satan, that thing you call the devil, that thing you call evil is the opposite of living. And if it opposes life, it's not worth living. It's not worth doing. Because when you oppose life, you oppose peace. You see what I mean? When a guy came up to me in the early 70s and put these papers on my desk about abortion, I said, don't put that on my desk. He said, yeah, but don't you want women to have an opportunity to make their own choices? I said, yeah, but this is you manipulating them to make the choice you think they should make. This is not them making their own choice. See, we live in a world that's marketing. This is a marketing world we live in. And we're not the marketers. We're not marketing it. We're marketing what they say market. So be very, 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 talk about making a choice. Be very careful in the choices that you make to make sure that you are making your own choice. You're not being manipulated to make a choice for somebody else. They call it politics. 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 You're right. You know it. So you want to know some shit. It was up to me. I wouldn't vote for nobody, but
you ain't got to vote. I didn't vote for nobody. It is your right not to vote.
Wait. I only voted for Obama, so it could go down in history. That's all I voted for. So it could go down in history that a black man was the president of the United States.
That's the only reason.
Now,
yes, ma'am.
What he did in the office, that's another book.
That's true. So true.
My beautiful.
Time to go.
It is 10:40, and and we have a little business to take care of when you think in the subject that we're talking about, and that is that Naweeli's son is in a state of suicide. So we want to
What?
take a moment and be with her and support her and support her son. Now she went off and I asked her to come back so that
I'm on.
and we be one with her.
What happened?
I don't, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I can't say what happened. I can only speak from what is happening since last night. Getting calls every 5 minutes, guests drinking, and there was a trigger to do with his housing that I was trying to help him with the situation with some money. And it just continued to escalate where I had to stop answering the phone during the night because he kept calling. And so this morning he reached out and it just started going and going. And, the conversation started going into joining his brother and his grandmother and the gun he has. So I got off the line with him and I called suicide prevention, talked to a young man, and then read a few articles and been in prayer. So that's where I am. Yeah.
You got it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Just take some deep breaths. Breathe through your nose and out your mouth. Come on. Breathe through your nose and out your mouth. Feel your bottom sitting, resting on the earth or in the chair, wherever you are. Just feel that connection. Yep. And just breathe, mama. You're just giving birth all over again. Just breathe, inhaling and exhaling. And just bring that energy back to Mama Earth. You got this. And just listen. Listen to the sound of my voice. Listen to the sounds that are happening around you. And just allow. Inhaling and exhaling. Focus on your breathing. That's your umbilical cord to God. Inhaling and exhaling. The answer is within you. You already know what to do. There you go. Inhaling and exhaling. There you go. Take it to the higher dimensions and have a conversation. There you go. Let your breath be your anchor. And just listen. Allow your thoughts to go by like clouds passing in the sky. Just allow them to go by. Attaching yourself to nothing. And as an observer, as a witness, take note of what you see. Inhaling and exhaling.
Now, really, I have something I want to share with you. You can keep your eyes closed if you like or not. But first, I want to, it's called the Ancestral Healing Prayer. Believe it or not, it just came up on my phone. My Queen Mother sent it to me just now. It says, I offer light and pour libation with respect and honor for all my ancestors whose names I know. And you say the names that you know that is, and whose names I don't know, to uplift and liberate their souls in the name and light of the Almighty God. For it is through the love, will, and power of God that all souls are saved. I offer prayer and protection by way of the divine creator for those ancestral souls and spirits that are in darkness, forgotten, or lost. Let the light I offer fade out the shadows of fear, and guide you toward the arms of God. I offer guidance to my ancestors and spirits by way of the guardian angels and protective spirits who by the power and order of God will assist them in their greater act of evolution. Let the light I offer be a beacon of hope and serve as an escape and protective shield from the shadows of despair. I offer love, compassion, and comfort to those ancestral souls and spirits that are suffering and depressed. Let the light I offer lead them from discord and the miseries of their souls to the sanctuary of God and the joys of heavenly bliss. I offer healing by way of the Supreme Being on all spiritual levels for those ancestors and spirits who were abused, afflicted, deceived, enslaved, hated, lonely, misguided, neglected, oppressed, pained, saddened, traumatized, and died tragically or by suicide. Let the light I offer to their souls inspire clemency, liberation, faith, love, and harmony from today onward. I offer forgiveness to the ancestral souls and spirits that want to sincerely repent for the errors of their ways in the realms of life and death. Let this light guide them to the truth. Let this light guide them to enlightenment and righteousness of God. In addition, I forgive those ancestors who committed wrongs that they have set their generation on line, those that are living in barrenness. And I forgive those ancestors whose past sins I've had to suffer as a result of their own naivety, ignorance, and inferior habits and traits. Let the light I offer serve as a reminder for those of us in the living to acknowledge and learn to not make the same mistake as the ones who lived before us. In every way, I forgive those ancestors and spirits who need it most, so that their souls will embrace in positive gratification a new and improved way of living in the spirit realm, and that those souls will elevate in peace and awaken to eternal life as God promised. In the name of God and through his mercy and blessings, let today be the beginning of a continual healing process for all my ancestral guides and the release of all blocked and negative genetic energy patterns within the generational line, steadily healing each family member, including myself, day by day. As you, the ancestors, heal on the other side, we ask that you forgive us as you have been forgiven and help us to heal with free-flowing, positive, and progressive energy for the better well-being of all concerned. In the name of all that is holy, just, and pure, in light, truth, wisdom, and knowledge, I pray. May the power and peace of God be with us always. In the name of the Most High, I give praise.
Thank you.
I'm going to send this to you.
Please. Thank you.
All of us, if you don't mind.
See him in your mind. Now, really, you're a powerful person. See him. This is maybe this is God's challenge to you to use this power that you've accumulated all these years, and see him heal. See him rejoicing in that he let go of those dark feelings.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
See that.
Yes. That's what I got in meditation, Mama. You have to hold him in the light when you envision him, and as his mother, his creatress, the first teacher, you claim his soul healed. You claim it healed as his mama. There is nothing more powerful on the planet than a mother's prayer. You pray that his soul is healed. And even in his healness and wholeness, or even in his brokenness and his hurt, you trust that God, the power of God within him, that dwells within him, is more powerful than all of that. You claim it. You claim it no matter what. You claim it in the dark the same as you would in the light.
What's his name now, Willie?
It's Manu, M-A-N-U,
Okay.
Kimani, K-I-M-A-N-I.
What does his name mean, Mama?
Manu comes from Emmanuel, King of Kings. Kimani is born on a Wednesday.
Day.
So work with both of those concepts. His name came to you for a reason. So even though he may not be able to see the king in him, King of Kings, that's Shango energy. So tap in, sis. Tap in. There's nothing that the spiritual realm can't do. And it seems as though he may be battling with some ancestral stuff. You know, he is the vessel for some ancestral battleground stuff. So tap in. You got it. You got this. You got this.
I lit this candle while we were talking before, and it's already going. And the person who gave me this candle also hit me up on my phone.
I say.
So we already know it's already
Spirit
lit.
moving. Yep. Spirit
Thank
moving.
you for that prayer. Thank you for the meditation at peace.
Thank you, peace. Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.
I'm sending Elizabeth energy through.
Yeah.
My mother prayed for me to get pregnant. I had given up on that. I'm telling you, the mother's prayers is a heck of a thing. It's powerful.
Yeah.
And some kind of way, me and my husband got into an altercation. We've been doing this since we were 14. We never had no fight or nothing like that. Kicked my hind part down the steps. I went through all of that so I could get with this other brother so I could have a baby. Because my mama's prayer is powerful, sister. Go ahead on and use it.
Yeah.
Has many mamas right now.
Yeah, we all mamas.
Yep. Yep. You called the village of mamas together, honey. That baby gonna be just fine. That baby gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I was listening to this minister once, and he was talking about this was before he knew God, and his mother would pray for him. And as his mother was praying, he couldn't get no girlfriend, he couldn't get this, he couldn't get that. And so he went to his mama. He said, "Mama, please stop praying. Stop praying, Mama. I can't do nothing." So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you. I appreciate you all.
All right. We love you.
Love you, not really.
Love you guys too.
Only think about what you want, not what you don't want. Don't let fear grab you. Let it go. Love you.
And you've done nothing wrong. Nothing, none of this is your fault. None of it.
This is his challenge. That's all it is.
His journey.
This crazy world that we are all in. It's just his challenge. And you're going to help him come through this challenge. That's all it is.
That's right.
And we're going to stand with you to help you stand.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that praise testimony that you're going to give. Thank you.
And get up and stomp on that spirit that's trying to take him out of here.
That's right.
Say, hell no, you going back where you came from. That's my son.
That's right. Like you told me now, when I was having that challenge, not this one. Not this one. You can have this one. You can't have this one.
That's right.
I'm gonna claim Manu for you. You can't have this one. Can't that one? No, we got him.
Long life.
Wrap a tree in his honor today.
And a life of purpose. A long life of purpose he shall lead. Yeah, you'll live that type of life.
Period. Yeah. And whatever gift you know he carries, because as his mother, you're his first teacher, you already know what he's gifted with. Call that thing out. Call it forth. You know, my son is not this. My son is this. You know what I'm saying? And as moms, you know, as moms of Black men in this country, our prayer game got to be tight. I know my prayer game be on point with mine. I don't play no game.
Know what else? Know what else is good? Know what else is a sign for you now, Willie? You got the word before he left this world. So it's already set, sister.
Yeah.
Go on and rejoice like it's already done. That's what my grandma used to say.
Period. Yeah, that's the best advice right there. You want to elevate it real quick? Step into gratitude. Write 5 things that you're grateful for his life and for him and all of that, and stay in the spirit of gratitude no matter what. Thank you, Mama, all day long. Yep.
Thank you.
I gotta go to another meeting, but I love y'all. Now, really, you're in the bubble of life and love. That's where you are. Stay there. Love you.
Yes. Love you too.
Love you.